Hello guys, hope you are doing good. I'm Dilip Kumar Patil. Today, wanted to discuss one of the chapter from 10th sociology, that is post-independent India. When I talk about post-independent India, it is after the freedom of India, that is after 15th August 1947, when we got freedom to our nation, when we kicked out the Britishers from our nation, we got freed from the clutches of the Britishers. From that day onwards, okay. So what are the main incidents have took in India, or which are the main challenges our leaders have faced after this independence? Before this, our freedom fighters, they were just demanding to the Britishers to go out of India. Just we want a freedom. Okay. But somewhere we were having a lack of proper planning. Once we get our freedom, what kind of a nation we want to build, how we will take out this nation forward. So just after the freedom of India, we faced a number of problems. So if I go on talking about these problems which we have faced just after the independence, that is after 1947, the first problem is given in your book is your after partition of the country, the freedom to the India, it is given with the issues like the partition. India has been divided into two nations, India and Pakistan, where the Pakistan, it has named itself as the Islam dominant country, and India, it was, although we were having Hindu majority country, we have not declared India as the Hindu major country. So just after freedom, the partition has happened, two separate nations have came out, Pakistan and India. But India, it has seen the communal violences, the fights between Hindus and Muslims, and so the once we got the independence, the people of India and the Pakistan, they were having options like they can live in India, or else they can shift to the Pakistan. The Pakistan people, they were having options, either they can live there or else they can shift to the India. But when the people have moved from one place, one nation to another, that has created a lot of challenges to the governments. That to Indian government, it has faced a lot of problems. The shelter issue to those refugees who are coming from the Pakistan or East Pakistan, the food arrangement of the food to those lakhs together people who are coming from the Pakistan. So the communal clashes have happened in the mostly in the northern part of India. Then communal clashes, it is the first issue which our leaders, they have faced just after the partition or just after the freedom of our nation. And freedom is also given like both the nations have got on the same day, 15th August 1947, Pakistan and India. But they celebrate one day prior their freedom day, that is 14th August, they celebrate. Okay. Then second issue when you talk about the second issue, it was the major issue which India has faced: unification of or integration of the princely states. In our India, we were having 562 princely states, and unifying these 562 princely states in India, it was not a easy task. It was very challenging task. And the hero, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who is also known as Iron Man of India, he has succeeded in his task. Okay, that's the reason we call Patel as the Iron Man of India. Okay. So he has succeeded in unifying the 562 states under the India. When the British, they have given freedom to the India and Pakistan, they have given three options to the princely states who are very loyal to these Britishers. Either they can shift to the Pakistan, or else either they can merge with the Indian government, or else they can remain. The third option with them was they can remain independent in India. But Sardar Patel, he thought giving independence to these princely states, it will be not good to run the administration. So he thought to unify. And Sardar Patel, he was leading the home ministry. He was the first home minister for India, as well as the deputy prime minister. And first prime minister, Jawaharlal Nehru ji was the first prime minister of our nation. So unifying those 562 princely states into the India, it was also a second challenge which our India has faced just after the freedom of our nation. Next, third challenge, if you talk about, the third challenge was the huge damage to the Indian economic system, which was done by the Britishers. During their 200 years rule of Britishers, what they have done, they have looted us. British government, East India Company, they were the thieves. They have looted us, and they have destroyed our economic system. So once they given the freedom to us, we were not having sufficient wealth with us, because as the Adabhai Nauroji also has studied about this data scientifically, how the wealth of India has drained to the England, and he has recorded it in his drain theory. Then drain theory of the Dadabhai Nauroji, it talks about how the wealth of India, it has entered into the England, how they have managed to took successfully by fooling our princely states. Then the fourth challenge which our Indian government it had is creating our own constitution, creating our own guidebook, how we will take our nations forward. So the task was given to the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who was very brilliant guy, who was having tremendous knowledge with him, who had 4 PhDs along with him and n number of degrees. So the drafting chairman has given to the chairmanship has given to the Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, and the chairman of this drafting committee was Babu Rajendra Prasad, Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad. Okay. So they had successfully took this task, and they have formed one of the lengthiest constitution of the world. Sorry. Next challenge was the fifth challenge which we faced just after the independence of India is the protection of the country. We have faced the security issues from the Pakistan. We faced the security problems from the China. Just after the freedom of our nation, we had to fight the wars with the Pakistan. We had to fight the war with the China. So that was also a challenging task, where a nation which has took a born, just it has took a birth, and just it is keeping its baby steps in the economy, that had to face the wars. The facing a war is not an easy task. It has involved a lot of wealth. Again, that was also one of the tasks. And the sixth issue, the challenge which we faced after the independence, is gender and caste-based discrimination. Yes, it was existed. There was a discrimination in the men and women's. There was somewhere females, they were feeling that their demands are not meeting. They are not getting equal respect to the men. That was the issue. Then caste-based discrimination were there. Somewhere the Dalits, the OBCs, they thought we are not getting the status in the society. So this caste-based and gender-based discrimination also, our India, it has faced a challenge. So these are six main challenges which we had faced just after the freedom of our nation. So we will talk about in depth regarding these challenges. First, when you talk about the communal violence, whenever I talk about the communal violence, whenever we study the history of India, it is the clashes between Hindu and Muslims. Very few clashes we have seen between, or we have not seen with other religions, like Hindu Buddhism, or Buddhism with the Hindu, or Jainism with Buddhism, or Jainism with Hindus. So such kind of a clashes we have seen very few, but Hindu Muslim clashes India has seen plenty. Okay, just after the freedom. Okay, so which again, as I think, it's my opinion, whatever the clashes we have seen, Hindu Muslim clashes, that was the worst gift of the Britishers, where they had followed their strategy, divide and rule, and they have broke our one piece of India into the two parts. Okay, and they have kept us a problem. Okay, where we are the brothers, actually brothers. Pakistan, they are just the Pakistan, it was a part of India, and it has separated. Mainly there are few leaders like Muhammad Ali Jinnah. He wanted to make a new nation. He is the main leader who fought for new nation, separate nation for the Islam people, and somewhere he wanted to lead that country. He wanted to take forward, and he had become the first prime minister of Pakistan too. And so that the British's strategy, whatever they have used, divide and rule, their policies we can see even in the Bengal, when they have done the Bengal division in the name of administration. It was not, their main intention was they wanted to divide Hindu Muslims in that Bengal divisions too in the history. So everywhere the Britishers, they have kept with a lot of issues. Then when the partition has happened in 1947, lakhs of Hindus and Muslim died in the communal classes. It is said that very few Hindus and Muslims, they have died in the wars which have happened between India and Muslims, but more the Hindus, more the Muslims, they have died in the communal clashes. Again, though strategy of the Britishers here. Okay. They wanted to make us the enemies. We have not thought in that way. And even today, if I say something to the Pakistan, Indian people will be happy. If I say okay, some bad things about the Pakistan, Indian people will be happy. Okay. So if I say something bad to the India, then the Pakistan people will be happy. But guys, we have to understand both the nations were one before few years. We are the brothers and sisters. We have to think, we have to apply our minds. After these 200-year rule of British, somewhere our leaders, we have stopped thinking, we have stopped giving work to our minds. Okay, so we have to think, and we have to start, at least now we have to start living in a brotherliness, so where we can become world leaders. Until and unless we stop these issues, India Pakistan issues, until unless we solve this, we can't become the world leader. Okay, so that we have to think, and we have to move forward. Somewhere the Pakistani leaders, they have to adjust with India, and Indian leaders, we have to adjust with the Pakistans. Okay, again, that Hindu Muslim bhaichara, that has to be somewhere, it has to be take born, at least in our minds. At least we have to start teaching to our future generation regarding that. And there, when the partition has happened, and when the new Islam nation has took born, that has been opposed by a number of Muslim leaders too, like Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan. Okay, so these were the leaders who were opposing the move of Pakistan. They don't want to make India, Pakistan separate nations. They wanted to live one country as the India. Okay, but Muhammad Ali Jinnah, he wanted to make a new nation. Okay, with Muslim majority, and he has succeeded in his whatever the thought he was having. So that the communal violence which has happened between the Hindus and Muslims, okay, due to the divide and rule policy of the British. Okay, and as I told you, how many losses to the people it has happened. Then the next issue is refugee crisis. Okay, refugee crisis, it was also a major issue which India has faced. Okay, a number of refugees, they came from the Pakistan and they entered into the India. A number of East Pakistan people, I talked about West Pakistan. The present days Pakistan is West Pakistan, and East Pakistan, it is present days Bangladesh. Okay, so a number of refugees, they came from the Bangladesh, that is the East Pakistan, and they have took the settlement in the India. So that providing the shelter, providing the food to those refugees from the East Pakistan and West Pakistan, it was a big challenge to the India. Along with that, so you see here number 10 lakh Bangladeshi refugees, they entered into India. Okay, and Bangladesh refugees, Pakistan refugees, and along with that, we have India. It has received the refugees from the Tibet too. Okay, from the Tibet again, a number of refugees, they came to India, where we have helped them. So for the Tibetan refugees, okay, who came to India, for them we have allotted somewhere 3,000 acres of land, and to build their settlements, and somewhere we are helping them to enrich their culture, that Tibetan culture. Even today, they have maintained their Tibetan culture in India. There are 3 settlements we are having in India where Tibetan people, they are living. 2 are in Karnataka, southern part of Karnataka, and 1 it is in the Himachal Pradesh, Dharmshala, where even today you will going to see the Tibetan monasteries, Tibetan people, they are living and they have maintained their culture. So refugees issue, it was also a major challenge after the independence, where India has handled and received the refugees from the present day Pakistan, present day Bangladesh, that is West Pakistan and East Pakistan. We have received the lakhs together refugees from the Tibet, okay, under the leadership of Dalai Lama. Okay, so where we went to support Tibet when the China has done a war, when China wanted to acquire the Tibet. We thought somewhere we will help the Tibet. Okay, but again, Tibet, it came to India. The Tibetan, many of the Buddhist leaders, Buddhist followers, Buddhist gurus, they came to India and settled down here. In Karnataka, you will going to see the refugees, camp of our Tibetans in the Bailukope. Okay, Dharamshala. There is another one place in the Karnataka. So 3 settlements we are having in Karnataka, in our whole India. So that refugee issue, it was also a major problem which our India, it has faced just after the independence. Then the problem of formation of the new government of Indian government, the 2 independence government. So when we got freedom from the Britishers, we have to form the government, right? We have to select the prime minister, we have to select the deputy prime minister, we have to select the home minister, we have to select the council of ministers. So what we have done, Jawaharlal Nehru, he has become the first prime minister of our India. Then Vallabhbhai Patel, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel ji, he has become deputy prime minister, as well as home ministry has been given to the Vallabhbhai Patel, because many of the Congress leaders and other leaders, they knew that the strong decisions of the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel can make a miracles. You can see the miracles which have happened. I will discuss that just within 2 minutes. Then the first president has given to the Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad. Okay, he has become the first president of independent India. Then we have made the, we have constituted, we have formed our constitution, and we know that constitution drafting chairman and all those things. When we have made our constitution, in the preamble, the original constitution, it was having 2 words, secular and socialist. India, it is secular and socialist. But afterwards, what happened? We have added 2 of the other terms. Okay, earlier, okay, so these 2 terms were added later, okay, in the 1976 by making 42nd amendment. Earlier, prior to this social and secular, we were having like India is a democratic and republic country. Democratic and republic, these were the terms used in the preamble, but social and secular were added later words in the 1976 by making 47 amendment. So we have to remember the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's original Indian constitution, it doesn't contain the words social and secular. It has been added later words by making the 42nd amendment by our Indian politicians in the year 1976. Then our India, we have adopted the parliamentary type of a democracy, where we are having parliament building in our capital city, that is New Delhi, and we are having in the parliament there are two houses, upper house and lower house. Rajya Sabha, upper house is Rajya Sabha and lower house is Lok Sabha. So that is about formation of the government and just after the independence. Then next and major task is the integration of the princely states. Okay, now the role of my hero, that is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel ji, is a very what I can say, very interesting, and it gives goosebumps when you read the incidents and the decisions took by very strong man. Okay. So once we got the freedom, the Britishers, what they have done, they have given three options to the princely states. We were having 562 princely states in our India, and the Britishers, we know that these princely states, majority of the princely states, they were very loyal to the British government. So while going back, the Britishers also they have also given gift to these princely states. That is, they were having options. They were having three options. One is joining India. They can join India, or they can shift to the Pakistan. They can become a part of the Pakistan government. Then third, it was very dangerous. They can remain independent in India. They were having these options with them. They can remain independent. But our home minister, the very brave home minister, he thought, if we give the freedom to these people, then doing the administration and safety, security, it will be the huge task to India. So he wanted to unify all the princely states under the one tag, that is India. So Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, he has given only one option, that is, by hook or crook, you have to sign instrument of accession with the India. By hook or crook, you have to sign instrument of accession. If you are listening to me with a smooth words, or else I will become aggressive. Both the ways you have to listen, either in a smooth way or else aggressive way. But the condition is you have to sign the instrument of accession. That was the condition. That was the option given by the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel to the princely states. British, they have given three, but our Patelji, he has given only one option, that is, you have to sign. Okay. Sign this instrument of accession. That again, instrument of accession, it is very important word which you have to remember from the exam point of view. Out of that, three princely states, they said, we don't join India, or we don't join the Pakistan, we remain independent. Okay, so those three princely states were your Junagadh, which is in present days Rajasthan, Jammu and Kashmir, then Hyderabad Nizam. Junagadh, Jammu and Kashmir, and Hyderabad state. Junagadh, Jammu and Kashmir, and Hyderabad. These were the states who wanted to remain separate, independent. They don't want to sign the instrument of accession of the Indian government. So the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, as he was leading the home ministry, I will tell you how he took the actions and how he made these princely states to merge with the Indian state, that is the Indian country. When you talk about the case of Junagadh, when you talk about the Junagadh, which is in Rajasthan, Here, the king was the Nawab, who was a Muslim ruler. He wanted to take his Junagadh and he wanted to merge with the Pakistan. But the local people, they have revolted against the king, where the local peoples were majority in the Hindus. They don't wanted to merge with the Pakistan. They have revolted against their king, and they have asked the Indian government intervention in that. So the Indian government, it has entered into the Junagadh. So by hearing this, the Junagadh Nawab, he ran away to the Pakistan and he has shifted. So the Diwan of the Junagadh, he signed the instrument of accession. By this way, Junagadh, it has came into India. Okay. Next, Hyderabad Nizam. Same here, Hyderabad Nizam. He, who was the one of the richest man at that time, who wanted to merge with the Pakistan. He don't wanted to merge. He don't wanted to merge with India. He refused to join the independent India. And as I told you, he was the richest man and he was having a lot of wealth. Okay. So, and another point is he was having the army, Razakars army, which was very cruel, which was very cruel army he was having. Okay. So with the help of these Razakars, he wanted to merge, he wanted to be with Pakistan, which was again where the farmers of the Nizam's kingdom, they have revolted against him and they seek the intervention of Indian government. So Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, what they have done, in 1948, they took the Indian army and they went to the Hyderabad and they fought against these Rajakars army, cruel army, and they won. And like this, the Nizam, Hyderabad Nizam, he left Hyderabad and he went where even today we don't know. Okay. So he left, he ran away from the his kingdom. So like this, Hyderabad region also entered into India. Then next, Jammu and Kashmir. When you talk about the Jammu and Kashmir, the king was Hari Singh. He was the Hindu king, and he wanted to remain independent. He don't wanted to merge with India. Neither he wanted to merge with Pakistan. But Muhammad Ali Jinnah's government, Muhammad Muhammad Ali Jinnah's new formed Pakistan, they wanted to take this Jammu and Kashmir into their nation because the majority of the people in the Jammu and Kashmir were Muslims. So what they have done, the Pakistan, it has sent the tribal Muslims to invade the Kashmir. Here, they have not used their army. They have sent the tribal Muslims. And the tribal Muslims, they entered into the Jammu and Kashmir and they have started to loot. They have started to create the brutality in the Jammu and Kashmir. Okay. So by seeing this, finally, okay, Hari Singh agreed. He seeked the help of the Indian government and he agreed to join India in October 1947. Once he signed the instrument of accession, Indian army, it attacked the tribal soldiers and they sent out them in this valley. And our Jawaharlal Nehru, the first prime minister of our nation, he took this issue to the UNO, United Nations Organization, and we complained. Okay, India complained the Pakistan's move in the Kashmir issue, and the northeast part of the Kashmir that was occupied by the Pakistan continued to be with it, and that part it is called as Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Okay. Like this Jammu and Kashmir is has also become the part of India, Pondicherry. So when you talk about again Pondicherry, the French, they were having main administrative capital in this Pondicherry, and they don't want to leave the Pondicherry. Okay. Again, the local people, they wanted to merge with India. So what happened later? We sent our interim army, and finally in 1954 we kicked out the French from this Pondicherry, and Pondicherry has become the part of India, and we made Pondicherry as the union territory in 1963. Goa. When you talk about the Goa again, Goa, it was the hub of Portuguese. Okay. So again, the Portuguese, we know that the first Portuguese to invade India. Then Portuguese, what they have done when the Indian government asked them to merge with India, they have refused, and what they have done, they have brought more and more army from the Africa, Europe to the India. So somewhere they wanted to show their power to the India, but the local satyagrahis from the all over India, they went to the Goa in support of the Goan people. Okay, so where Goan people, they were wanted a freedom against this Portuguese. Okay, and they wanted to merge with the India. In 1955, we were successful in kicking out these Portuguese from our India, and finally, so military, we have used the Indian military here also, and finally, in the year 1955, we were successful in kicking out, and since from 1955, it was made as the Union territory, and okay, till 1987, uh, and later in 1987 it has become the, now it is the independent state. So that is how the Jammu and Kashmir and your Nizam of Hyderabad and the Junagadh, Pondicherry, Goa has become the part of India. Next, the last content of this chapter is reorganization of the states based on the languages. As we today see, we are having states, union territories, whatever the states we have divided. To divide the states, we have used language as the base language. The language of that region, it has become the base for the bifurcation of the states. Like they have drawn the map for the Kannada speaking people. They have mapped the border. They have mapped the border for the Marathi speaking people. They have made Maharashtra. They made Karnataka for the Kannadigas. Odia for the Odisha people. Odisha's people, they speak Odia. Telugu, Andhra Pradesh. Tamil people, Tamil Nadu. Like that, language was the base to form, to reorganize the states of Indian government. And behind that, the leader called Potti Sri Ramalu, he was the main person who wanted to, he fought for the uh, asking, demanding the state for the Andhra people, that is Andhra Pradesh. He wanted to make a Vishal Andhra. So he sat 58 days on a hunger strike demanding for the Vishal Andhra, for the Andhra speaking people. When he died, the demand has created a lot of issues, and that has become a national issue. So by seeing the death of this Patti Sri Ramalu, the government has agreed to give the status to the Vishal Andhra, and later that Vishal Andhra became the Andhra Pradesh. Again, it is in the 1953. Again in 1953, what has happened? That was the one state, that was the first state, Andhra Pradesh was the first state which has born on the basis of language. Next, likewise, they have took the model of Andhra Pradesh and they have implemented throughout India. To implement that, in 1953, reorganization of the state commission was formed. Reorganization of the state commission. The task given to the reorganization of the state commission is making new states, UTs based on the language of that people. And the reorganization of the state commission, it was the president. Okay, president was Mr. Fazal Ali. He was the president. Then K.M. Panikkar and H.N. Kunzru became the members of reorganization of the state commission. Then they have submitted a report, and due to the report of the reorganization of the state commission, 14 states and 6 union territories were formed in India. Then like that, the Kannada speaking people were made as a separate region in 1947, October 14, 1947, as the Mysuru state. Okay, Mysuru state. And the demand to integrate all the people into the one state was prevailed. Again, there were few people, they left in the other bordering areas. There were few areas. Again, we have merged all those villages, and that has become Vishala Mysuru. And laterwards, that Vishala Mysuru, which came into born in 1956. Okay. Laterwards, Vishala Mysuru state has renamed with Karnataka in 1973. Karunadu, the land of black soil. So according to your book, now present we are having 28 states and 9 union territories. Okay. So this was the chapter where we learned which are the major issues we have faced, how we have tackled those situations, what is the role of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in integration of these princely states. Just think, if he was failed in that integration of 562 princely states, now India was supposed to be divided into a number of nations. We supposed to require the passport visa to travel towards our Maharashtra, to travel towards Kerala, our Tamil Nadu. But there is a big salute to the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel ji, who had successful in uniting these princely states under the one umbrella called India. Even today, again, respecting his works, the title has been given to the work of unifying these 562 princely states. Iron Man of India is the title given to the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. And the present government, they have also given their own contribution to the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel by making the largest statue of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in the Gujarat. So that, again, the name of the statue is Statue of Unity. they have kept, because Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is the main reason behind the unification of the India, unification of the princely states. So this is what the problems and how our leaders, that too Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, was successful in the unifying the states, how the Junagadh, Hyderabad and Jammu Kashmir, they have created the problems, how the French and Portuguese, how they wanted to be in India, they don't want to live. Again, we have formed our own government, okay, and the how the language based states have been formed with the Reorganization State Commission, which was headed by Mr. Fazal Ali. So this was the chapter. If you are having any doubts, you can comment in the comment box. So I will try to give the answer. See you in next class. Okay, I will come up with a new chapter. Till then, take care. Bye bye.